names on this side. Right over here was the names that was given to us through slavery. So now looking at that sign, what tribe would you say you come from? American blacks, right? All right, so read that for me.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
So this was the name that God given us, right? But give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. Our heritage was taken away from us. We no longer call ourselves Israel. We no longer call ourselves from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. We no longer say that we're from these tribes. We have had our heritage taken from us through slavery. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
It said that we were going to discontinue from our heritage. What do we think our heritage is today? Smoking blunts, getting high, getting drunk, chasing women, women being whores, men being whoremongering. That's what we think our heritage is today. That's not our heritage. Give me that in Peter where it said we were a nation of kings and priests. That's what our heritage was. That's what was taken away from us. You think about it, why you get that, hold that, give me Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. Watch this. Because there's something we've never been taught as a people. We've always been taught to be low at the bottom, right? You're never gonna be nothing. You're never gonna amount to nothing. You're just gonna be a thug, a drug dealer, dope dealer, whore, prostitute, right? Read this for me. Read that. Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So this is talking about the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. God said what?
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
God said you are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Come on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Come on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God said that you are above all people upon the face of the earth. Right now, give me Peter. That's what the Bible says, but we don't live like that because we've never been taught that. Read that. Come on.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
We are a chosen generation. Come on.
A royal priesthood.
We are a royal priesthood. This is what God called us to do. Come on.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood,
come on,
and holy nation,
a holy nation,
a peculiar people,
a special people, come on,
that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness.
So it says we shall show forth the praises of him. How do we show forth the praises of God? By keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
That's how we show forth our praise. Honoring him by doing what he told us to do. Right. Because so long we've done the opposite. We've done what God told us not to do. Right. For example, y'all eat pork? Y'all see pork? Okay, but then sometimes you used to, right? I did too, but guess what? God said that was against his laws. Right. Read that for me in Leviticus. Or was it important? Read that for me in Leviticus. Read that for me then.
Called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
He called us out of darkness. What was that darkness? Sin. He called us out of sin. Come on.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
So now, what is some of the sin that we participate in as a people? Because before you get there, give me Numbers 15. What we don't understand is that not keeping God's laws put us in this position now. Right. The reason why we live is because if we are a chosen people, if we are God's chosen people, why do we live in the situations we live in right now?
Bring it out.
Think about that. If God chose us, like we read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth, why do we live in the conditions that we live in now? Hold that. No, give me Amos chapter 3 verse 1.
Bring it out.
I'm going to show you. This is why, even though God loved us, even though God chose us, this is why we're in the bottom right now. Read that.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Come on.
Against the whole family, which are brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
right?
You only have I known.
He said, you only have I known, come on,
of all the families of the earth.
I've only known you, read.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's why he's punishing us for our iniquities. Because he chose us. He gave us his law, statutes, and commandments, and we chose not to keep them.
Right.
That's why we the last hired, first fired. Right. That's why we have the lowest, we have the lowest schooling or inferior schooling. Right. This is why our health care is inferior. Right. This is why that we when we grow up, our kids don't have anything to look up to because we haven't been taught these things, right? This is what we got to get our people to realize. Now read that for me.
Hosea chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
We got to acknowledge that we have offended God, meaning what? We have been in the midst of sin. Read.
And seek my face.
And that's this Bible. We have to seek his face. Read.
In their affliction.
And guess what? In our affliction, guess what? Our people are dying on a daily basis, getting killed by cops, things like that, right? God said the last one that happened, well, no, I can't even say the last, but one of the most recent ones that happened was Sonia Masson. God said these things are going to happen to do what?
They will, in their affliction, they will seek me early.
Because nobody ever wants to call on God when things are going right.
Bring it out.
Everybody wants to call on God when they're at the lowest, they're at the bottom. And God said, I'm going to have to break you down before you start to realize to call on me, right? Now give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
So, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Because we're going back to these laws, right? No, Numbers 15, 38. Watch this. Watch this. Here's a law that we were supposed to keep as a people. Read that.
Numbers chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, come on.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
We were supposed to make fringes in the borders of our garments, come on.
Throughout their generations.
Right.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
And that's why you see the blue ribbon that we have as well, come on.
And it shall be unto you for a friend, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
And we were supposed to remember all the commandments of the Lord, come on.
And do them.
And do them. We're not keeping God's laws right now. Our churches are not teaching us to keep God's laws. They're telling you can do whatever it is you want to do. What's the holiday coming up now? Halloween, yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Which one? October is Halloween, right? Yeah, so think about it. I got a question for you. What is something that we tell our little ones concerning strangers as they're growing up? Don't talk to them. What was another one? Don't take candy. Don't take candy from strangers. But we literally dress them up in costumes and have them take candy from strangers. Do you know that Halloween was called I always mess it up. Sam Hayden. I'm messing it up. But basically it was evil devil worshiping. And now they sit there and be like, oh, we dressed them up as a princess or we do this. No, God says it's all evil. Read that for me.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world.
And guess what? This is the rudiments of the world, the traditions of men that our people have followed, that God said not to follow, right? So now let's go back to these commandments. There's more? Go ahead.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. So what are some of the things Christ taught us, right? Give me Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. Watch this. Where there's things that we can and we cannot eat. That's what I was going into. Watch this. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it up.
And the swine, though he divide the who.
What is swine? Pig, right? Swine is pig. Come on.
And be cloven footed.
Right.
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
Come on.
He is unclean to you.
God said the pig is unclean to us.
That's right.
Think about it. As a nation of people, I already said it. Well, when you look at statistics, what nation of people have the highest rate of high cholesterol, gout, and high blood pressure? But blacks and Hispanics, those are the ones, right? Now, why? Because we eat the foods that God told us not to eat. We suffer from these conditions because God told us not to eat this, and we do it anyway, right? But why do we eat those things? Why did we come accustomed to eating those things?
Bring it out.
Slavery. what they gave us in slavery. They gave us the worst of the worst. They gave us shit. What our people think that chitlins is a delicacy. But that was what the leftovers was that they gave us to eat of the things they didn't want anymore. Snouts, hooves, ears, things of the pig feet. Yeah, the pig feet. I said hooves, didn't I? you know what I mean.
They eat them too?
But that's the thing, though. That's how we become accustomed to eating unclean foods. Read that for me.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Come on.
All them that have not.
So in order to eat anything in the waters, it has to have fins and scales. Things like trout, crappie, bass, grouper, crappie, all these, tuna, salmon, things like that, right? Come on.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, there shall be an abomination.
So the things that don't have fins and scales shall be an abomination. Catfish. Does that have fins and scales? It has fins, but it doesn't have scales. No, but it has to have fins and scales. Lobster. Does that have fins and scales? Shrimp.
Bring it out.
Crab.
Bring it out.
Anything, these are the things that they gave us that we have grown accustomed to eating because it's against God's laws. Watch this. Give me Judah chapter 5, verse 1. The reason why they do this to us because they know that we're supposed to keep God's laws and they want to keep us in sin. Read that.
Judah chapter 5 and verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God.
So that said, if there be any error in this people and they sin against God, come on.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
That this was going to be their ruin, that you will be able to overtake them if they sin against God. Come on.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
And did they not overcome us? Look at us through history. They overcame us because of us being in the midst of sin. Come on.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But guess what? If we stop sinning, what would happen?
Let my Lord now pass by. Lest their Lord defend them.
Unless God defends us. That's what the other nations don't want. That's why why do you think that strategically they put a liquor store on every corner in the hood? Now, is drinking a sin? No. But the excess of is. And the conditions that we live in as a people, they push that upon us because we try to cope with everything that's happening to us that we live through on a day-to-day basis. Guess what else is on every corner in the black community?
Bring it out.
A church. Now watch this, watch this. If a church was really meant to, these churches that are out here, if they were really meant to help you, why do you have 10 churches within a 2-mile radius? Don't they speak the same thing? Aren't they supposed to be for the same vision? Are they not supposed to have the same care for it? So why not become one? Because it's not what it's about. It's about money. It's not about saving your souls. It's not about changing our people from drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes. It's not changing them to being men of God, women of God. It's all about perverting you and continue to get money. Now,
what is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children